She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who do whatever His Highness desires. She's your queen to be, a vision of perfection, an object of affection to quench your royal fire. Completely free from infection, to be used at your discretion, waiting only for your direction, your queen to be.
Boy, you something else.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, Conjure Queen. Y'all know what time it is.
Ooh, that's some singing right there.
I know what time it is, man. Conjure Queen. The choir had to go on.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Yes, yes. The family is in the building. The family is in the building. Man, what's up? What's up, Chaos family? What's up? Sunday service, church. Man, it's funny, man. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know about Coming to America, man. That's my favorite movie. I don't know how people don't know about Coming to America. That's the movie. You know, when D-Ray told me, I was like, what, baby? What?
When I told you what?
You said, yeah, I barely, I think I seen it, but a little bit of it. I'm like, what, babe? What you talking about? Coming to America, that's it, man. That is it.
Youngin, that's all I can say. You had to tap into a different tone to get that queen to be out, huh?
Oh, you heard me? You heard me, babe? You heard me? 90s babies, man. Them 90s babies don't know about that Coming to America, man. Conjure Queen, you look like a 90s baby yourself.
I love that movie. It's a classic.
Classic. Oh yeah, the choir. Oh shit, y'all crazy. I think the choir done, huh? I think the choir done. Give it up for Mr. Randy Watson. Mr. Randy Watson. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Thank you. Show them all the beauties they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Man, y'all better get it, man. Y'all know what time it is. It's going down. What's up, man? Sunday service. Let me find this video. I'm on here singing. I know the audience ready. The Chaos family looking crazy. Man, oh man. Conjure Queen, man, it's such a pleasure to have you on, man. Such a magnificent, powerful spirit you are. And you know, the information you bring into the world and to the family is needed, man. People need this understanding of self, you know what I'm saying, and getting back to their natural being, to their right state of mind. You know what I mean? And I applaud anybody that's doing it, man, because you know it's not a task for everybody, and you seem to be one of them people that, you know, has this this energy that everybody gravitates towards. You know what I mean?
Authenticity.
Yes, that heart chakra,
the realness
is expansive. You're touching everybody. It's moving people in ways. You feel me? Yeah, so that's powerful. So big up to you, Conjure Queen. Let's see who's in the chat room real quick. Let's get it in. Just found the video. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's time. The family is in here. Okay. All right. Man. Man. I was just telling Conjure Queen about Khadijah's class, man. And me and the Queen is in Khadijah's class, or her Akashic class, man. And man, I was on such a high yesterday. Such a high, man. I'm talking about wow. Just like mind blown. And y'all know I was on a fast and all of this other stuff and deep into my meditations and stuff. I had to break my fast last night just to ground myself and come back down to earth. Man, I'm telling you, it was going down. I'm like, damn, okay. I'm gonna have to figure this one out because man, and we got her class in an hour coming up. So we ain't gonna be staying up here all long with y'all local jokers, man. So we're gonna get in and get out for real. Real. Let's get it started, man. Let's get it on. CQ.
What's up?
CQ. See,
What one?
Queen. Let us know about your journey. I know the whole family wants to know about your spiritual journey and how this whole thing rolled off for you.
Ooh. Well, let's see.
Get in depth. We want to know everything.
Childhood, everything. Let us know.
Well, we getting real intimate. That's cool. I like being transparent with my family. You feel me? We all family up in here. Shout out to the Divine Royalty family that's in the building too. I see some of y'all names. I shake. All right. So how did this all get started? Man. Well, I grew up in a Christian household. A lot of people may not know that, but I come from a very heavy Christian family where it's like my grandmother dragged me to church damn near every day, Bible study, Sunday school, choir. Like I was in the choir, y'all, okay, preaching and praising Jesus Christ. You feel me? Like I had to know the Bible back and front. And so like, it was just certain things that I didn't understand. It was just certain things like, why was it that my family was struggling and poor, but the pastor and the pastor's wife was living nice, had a nice house, nice cars, but we out here struggling and we giving tithes and stuff. And certain questions that I had about life, it was like the pastor couldn't answer it. The church folk couldn't answer it. My family couldn't answer it. I just always knew that there was more to life than what was told to me. So I've always had this like curiosity for the mystical, the magical, the unseen world. And I used to, like my grandmother was very spiritual. She used to have dreams and all of her dreams came to pass. And so I feel as though I've inherited her power because I used to see things as well, whether in my dreams or in my waking life. And certain things people couldn't explain to me. Like if you tell anybody that things or you see things, like they're going to tell you, be quiet, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's your imaginary friend. And so I don't know if anybody in here, like shout out to the 90s babies and the millennials that know about that movie, Drop Dead Fred. I don't know if y'all know that. Do y'all know that?
No.
I'm talking about Drop Dead Fred. That came out, I think, in the 90s, but it's an old movie. I would definitely recommend anybody watch this old classical movie called Drop Dead Fred. It was basically about this little girl who had this imaginary friend, and she was lonely, but it helped her cope through her depression or whatever like that through life. But they made her take these medicines and stuff like that, which made her lose the ability to see it. But that's like a whole nother topic we could get into about like vaccines and stuff that block our third eye. Mm-hmm. But back to me. So long story short, I would say that I've always had an interest in the spiritual, even though my family, it was kind of like I was going against the grain. I was always the black sheep in the family. I was the oddball. I was the one that just kind of went like against what everybody else was doing. And I paid for that, it wasn't always it. Everybody may know that, being in the spiritual journey is not easy. It wasn't trendy like it is now. You feel me? Like you was deemed crazy or, antisocial and stuff like that. But what really I would say, opened my eye and made me step into my power, because there was a point in time where I was an atheist. I had met my little high school sweetheart boyfriend. Ain't my high school sweetheart no more. But I met him in high school. He was an atheist, and he just like the way that his mind was, it was like he was answering questions that the Bible wasn't answering me. And this was something that was different. Mind you, a little Christian girl coming from a Christian background, me and the atheist, me and him actually, you know, was together for a while. And he was opening my mind up to like rational thought, opposite of Christianity. Mm-hmm. So that also got me a little bit like broke me out of the Christian mindset all the way. Then later on in 2010, when my grandmother transitioned and passed away, I feel like that was my dark night of the soul. That was when my world shattered. That was my transformational call, because I feel as though she made that sacrifice to give me her gift, her blessings. Whenever we have an ancestor that, you know, ascends, we absorb their power. We become stronger. Like that, what they call that? I'm trying to think of that thing. What? When one supreme dies and the new supreme rises, the other one dies. What the hell is that show called with the Coven?
That's American Horror Story.
Yes, that. So it was like, you know, my grandmother was this freaking supreme and a priestess of the family. Every family has a priestess. And it's like when one priestess passed, that torch is passed on to the next generation. And it's like, you'll be forced to step into that role. And I feel like once she passed, it was like, God damn, like I went from that atheist mindset to feeling like, yo, nah, like my grandmother ain't going. Like I gotta find a way to connect with her. I gotta find a way to contact her. So I started dibbling and dabbling and stuff. You know, like, you know, divination, tarot cards, all types of spiritual things that was taboo. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like once I started realizing like, yo, this magical stuff really works, that, you know, when you die, you could still connect to people. I was just like, yo, I'm like, this is my calling. Like, I feel like this is something I'm supposed to be doing. And so like, long story short, I started to, you know, do YouTube like in 2015 when I was going through a really depressing time. I went through a bad breakup, having some family issues. I was having so many things going on. I quit my day job. Like a lot of stuff was just happening all at once, but I never planned to make my YouTube channel, like I never did it for popularity. I never even thought that people would find interest in me, to be honest. Like I never was a social butterfly. I was always to myself, very, you know, very self-conscious. I didn't believe in myself, very low self-esteem. And so like when people actually started responding to me, because I was using my YouTube as a platform just to vent, it was like my virtual diary. Mm-hmm. People, I realized I wasn't by myself, and there was other people who was going through the same thing I'm going through, same journey, well, similar journey. We got different journeys as myself. And so I don't know, like spirit just kept telling me like, keep it up, keep on going. And so here I am today, you know, on this lovely channel here, talking about my story and, you know, helping other people. So it's definitely an honor once again to be here. I never would have thought that I would be able to touch so many people. I never would have thought that people would listen to me. I've always felt invisible. So it's always an honor. It's always an honor to be able to like at least help one person or change somebody's life. So thank you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that's how this thing does roll off, because you know, we don't know how we're gonna get thrown into this thing, you know what I'm saying? How our energy is gonna move us. And when we just kind of go with the flow and move with this thing, like you were saying, you just started on YouTube to vent, because YouTube, it didn't have nothing to do with, you know, monetary value or anything back then. You know what I mean? And just doing that just to express yourself. And now you see, you open up that throat chakra to become this divine speaker is, man, very, very needed for real. Yeah, man, the church used to teach us all the books of the Bible and all that shit, man. I used to be like, God, I used to be sitting in church like, God damn, that little children's church or whatever. God damn, I know what you went through, Conjure Queen. I know my mom was the same way, had us in there doing all this other stuff and blah blah blah. Man, tell us about some of the teachers and books you ran through in your journey.
Cool. Whoa. Well,
It was one that really impacted you like to the core.
Bobby Hemmett. Like I always give homage to Bobby Hemmett because he is the one at the time when I started like, watching YouTube. It started with the whole Illuminati and stuff videos. Like that's kind of like what like got me a little bit out of my sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I always knew it was more to life than what it is. And so from the Illuminati videos, I started looking at these symbols and I researched the symbols and I realized like, wait a minute, these symbols are not evil. These symbols go way back to like our ancestry. So these are spiritual symbols. I'm like, why are they saying the Eye of Ra is evil? But when I look further, it says the Eye of Ra is actually an amulet of protection. So then some way, somehow, I ended up finding Bobby Hemmett on YouTube. So at the time, there wasn't that many melanated people that looked like myself and you that was doing YouTube videos talking about spirituality. So it naturally drew me in. And he was talking about some controversial stuff that went way against my, Christian background, that was talking about, working with the dark side and, all of these things that they told us to stay away from is that's our power. And so I started to apply the science and I'm like, yo, this works. So Bobby Hemmett, y'all know Bobby. If y'all don't know Bobby Hemmett in the chat room, listen, y'all need to check out Bobby Hemmett because he has some long ass videos. I'm talking about some videos is like 10 hours long. And I was sitting there like, I would dedicate days to binge watch his videos. And it really transformed my life. So Bobby Hemmett is the #1 influential occultist that touched me and transformed me. Without him, who knows, maybe there wouldn't be a Conjure Queen.
Man, but without Bobby, shoot, somebody had to do it. So Bobby was actually the perfect vessel for this thing because, man, and not only just Bobby as, giving out all this information, but the perfect example of what this thing is, who you're supposed to be. Like Bobby is a creator. You look at him and you can see God. You know what I'm saying? He is the ultimate chaos, if you will, in this thing. Like, never seen nothing like him. Like the way he carries himself, everything. He's just, he's just in tune with this whole thing. Everything is dived into spiritual. He sees everything as spiritual. He'll tell you a story about him just going to the store to grab a soda, and he'll make it a whole spiritual event. And that's what this thing is, man. Making this thing a magical playland, adventure. You know what I mean? We got to start thinking about this thing, family, as like a fun journey, a exploration. Just try things, do things, be the ultimate scientist in this thing for real. Because Bobby, when I look at Bobby, I just see scientist. He's trying everything. Trying everything.
And I love the fact that he was so humble. It was like, how you get into the spiritual community and a lot of people think they know everything and they try to act all proper and prestige and higher than thou. Bobby Hemmett was cussing. Bobby Hemmett was using language that was very relatable. It was like, he seemed like somebody you can just like kick it with, have a conversation with, and talk some deep stuff. And like, I feel like that was kind of like my energy. I'm like, yo, I could vibe with this. He's speaking my language. I understand what he's saying. He's not using these big old fancy words to seem intellectual. He's just like giving it to you straight, no chaser, like I always say. And that's how I love it. Give it to me raw.
yeah, because it is raw. This is what the thing is. It's our natural thing. Like when we make it too mysterious or too scientific, now we're using too much logic. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to use logic in this thing. You want to go with what you know. This thing is about moving how the air blows. and going. We are Nagas, nigga. So y'all have to really dive into that. Like, this is us. This is what this thing is. Just like the guy last Sunday service, Pharaoh Brown, was saying, these Caucasians or whatever, they're just recording what we're doing, and they're trying to see if somebody can figure out what it is. That's all these books are about. They're recording our shit. They looking at it and like, damn, how did they do that? Okay, let me write a book about it. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that is, man. And did you give us a book, Conjure Queen? You got any books for the family that a one book that stood out to you that really started turning things?
I gotta really think on this one because the family know I'm a freaking like bookworm, and I have so many books. I'm trying to think of one. Ooh.
First thing that comes to mind, and go.
Mine is the mine.
Well, I will say this. At the time I was working with this Yoruba priest, and his name was Yuya, and he had made a book called I think Keys to Your Inner Self or something like that, or How to Be an African. It was something. I don't remember the exact name, but I will say that was probably one of the first books that kind of got me into the whole like Ifa Yoruba path, because I didn't stay on one school of thought. I always tell my family that, you know, it's good to study different mystery schools. Don't stay stuck in one. But, you know, I learned about the Orisha. I learned about, you know, the Ori and different things. Like I was listening to his podcast and everything like that. So he had a strong influence in my life, even though there's a lot of things that I didn't agree with that he did. Well, some things I didn't agree with, but a lot of things, like I can never take it away that he did play a huge role in my journey.
Man, no, them shamans or whatever they are, what they call priests or whatever, what the people that hit up your Facebook Messenger like crazy. I'll be like,
oh, listen, let me tell you guys, if somebody with a long ass name run up in your DMs or in your inbox, just like block them, because 9 times out of 10 it's a hoax. They be like, oh, you know, blessing beautiful sister, blessing beautiful brother, you know, you have a great spiritual journey ahead of you. However, I see some darkness in your life. Pay me $1,000 so I can cleanse you. Oh, hell to the no.
yes, yeah, that's exactly what is happening, man. And then you see them priests or whatever, these pastors or whatever in Africa, they doing the most over there, man. Or shoot, I don't know if this is true or not, but these little things I'm seeing on Facebook with these priests in Africa, and they got their congregation doing all type of stuff. I'll be like, wow, the mind is all. It'd be so wild. Like, how do they have them doing this? It's just amazing to me. That's crazy, man. Yeah.
It's the power of religion. It's religion is mind control. Like when I watched that movie, The Book of Eli, it told me like, damn, like the guy wanted to get that Bible so bad in order to control the masses. He's like, do you know how much control we can have with this book right here? So that got me thinking. I'm like, yo, that's probably exactly, they telling us in the movies what they did to us. It's just kind of like, you know, they went into the ancient temples, they stole all of the information, the ancient scrolls, and they withheld that knowledge from the public, and then they gave it back to us to basically keep us under control. But what's happening is that the newer generation, or the generation now, we're waking up to our true calling. Our DNA is activating 2020 vision. We seeing things clearly now, where it's like we starting to remember things in our subconscious mind that was laying dormant before. That's why a lot of us are waking up to our purpose. That's why a lot of us are here in this chat room right now. We could be doing, a lot of y'all could be doing God knows what right now, but you're here. So let that resonate with you. You chose to be here. You're in alignment with your destiny. You know that there's more to life than just, you know, an average Jane or average Joe lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts. Yeah, they putting these rituals on people and stuff and doing some kind of just, man, all kind of stuff just to make them bend to their will. It's just amazing. Speaking of rituals,
Mm-hmm.
I seen you with your ritual the other day.
Which one?
You know, boy, the one where you burying these, boy, them little demons. Man, and
Yeah.
that's funny because that's what you got to do, man. Sometimes you got to put,
Necessary sometimes.
man, you got to put these little, you got to put any type of energy into, you know, whatever has to happen. Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It go down for real.
These little
Because,
kids is evil nowadays, man. It's just kind of like they not how to. I mean, kids was bad growing up, like, you know, when we were young. But I mean, yo, these kids is crazy. They out here like little 9-year-olds bringing knives and stabbing little girls, and it's they. Oh my god, you got to protect your kids out here.
facts.
From adults too.
I was bad. I was bad when I was a kid. But these kids, they not even bad. They a whole nother thing. They like chaos for real, like in a whole nother plane of this thing. They doing whatever. Already taking drugs, smoking weed at 11 and 12. I'm talking about it's going down for these kids. They ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? They trying to grow up fast. And a lot of it ties into once you put that cell phone in their hand and they can see the world. You know what I'm saying? They want to be whoever they see on these things. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
There's no more to the street hustlers. You looking at the street hustler and say, dang, I want to be him. Now they want to be, you know, Lonnie Love or whatever. All these little things, man, it's crazy. Tell me, let's do this. Let's jump these questions off. Tell me, what is a ritual? What is the purpose of a ritual?
Okay. Well, in simple terms, like a ritual is something that you do on a consistent basis. So, I mean, let me see. Think about it this way. Everybody has a ritual, even if it's not magical. Like when you get up in the morning, what do? You get up, you stretch, you go brush your teeth, you probably work out, you make your breakfast, you go to work, or, you know, whatever anybody ritual is. Like that's a ritual. That's something that you do that becomes a habit. So the reason why we do rituals and magic is to reprogram our subconscious mind. Even when you get initiated into certain mystery school systems like Voodoo or Ifa or Apollo, like they have this thing where you have like a 21-day taboo where they say, okay, for 21 days, this is what you got to do. You got to wear all white, or you can't eat salt, or you can't, eat this type of food, or you can't have alcohol. You got to keep your hair covered. What this is doing is literally conditioning your subconscious mind to absorb this new culture, this new way of life, this new mentality. So that's why they say, it takes 21 days to break a habit or to form a new habit. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are trying to, like, let's say eat healthier or, do a ritual for money, right? Like the ritual will basically be taking a spiritual bath. That's raising your vibration to help you to get alignment with the money or the financial abundance you're trying to attract. Lighting a candle, a green candle, focusing on that for 7 days. What's that's doing? That's reminding you every day that, okay, I got to get the money. I got to get the bag. I got to get this investment. You feel me? Like even the aroma, burning the incense is like subconsciously playing on the part of your brain that, and the scent, I forgot what they call it, the oratory system. Is that what it's called? Oratory? Is it oratory? I forgot what it's called, but it's the part of the brain that deals with smell. Scientists to this day still can't understand it, but the scent is a very powerful element. Don't sleep on that. Even people, when it comes to love, they say that you pick your mate based on their smell. And I'm gonna give y'all a little tip, okay? If you really want to be attracted to the opposite sex or to the same sex, whatever you into, eat celery. Celery actually helps to release endorphin. What's it? Not endorphins. What's the things called? Pheromones. Pheromones. Yeah, pheromones, and it makes you smell good. So eat some celery, okay, and it'll make you really magnetic and attractive. But yeah, so rituals is just about doing these constant practices, not just thinking about it. Like the secret tells you, all you got to do is just, think it, see it in your mind. That's what the whole love and light stuff is about. Like, oh, you just got to think better. You got to see yourself there. It's like you could sit there in your bed all you want to and see yourself being healthy and see yourself prospering. But if you ain't getting off your ass and you ain't doing the work, then nothing's going to happen. I don't care how powerful you are. You got to get off your ass and do the work. Okay.
Facts. Yeah, I tell people all the time, these tools and items that we're using in our rituals are physical representations or symbols to impact our subconscious mind. So now once we open up our subconscious mind and we're in that airwave, now we're able to push this idea or whatever we want to manifest, the intention, down to this earth realm, to this 3D realm. So yeah, that is important, family. That is important for real, because I notice a lot of rituals. You do a lot of rituals for the family on your channel, and man, all of them are powerful, and all of them you use certain things and certain items to propel that certain intention, which is a must. And with these items that you're using, tell us how you go about sort of picking the items, or is there something you're watching in essence, or does it just come to you?
Well, one of the things that I read a while ago was the doctrine of signatures. And the doctrine of signatures basically just says that the Native Americans, and shout out to, you feel me, the Cherokees and all my native tribes, because they have a big role in voodoo, magic, and all of the occult stuff that a lot of people here in America know. Okay. Now, the Native Americans, they believe that there was something called the doctrine of signatures, whereas, let's say, for instance, for the type of illness that you have, there was an herb that can fix it. Okay. Because they believe that there was a story that, long ago, once upon a time, the people of the land used to be so in harmony with nature and the animals and stuff, where, like the animals was in harmony with them. They was able to talk to the animals and talk to the trees and stuff like that. But then something happened where the humans got confused and they started to eat the animals. And, and they wasn't doing the proper rituals or the sacrifices, and they wasn't taking care of the land, hence what's happening now. And so the humans, because they broke that oath with the animals, they started to get illnesses. And so what happened was the plants were created to say, you know what, we don't like to see the humans suffering, so we're going to heal them. So that was the covenant, the signature that the plants and the herbs made with the humans, was that for every illness or sickness will be your cure. And so the doctrine of signatures basically says that, for instance, let's say if a person is having some type of brain problems, they would eat walnuts. Why? Because walnuts look like a brain. If a man is having some, erectile dysfunction, he would eat a banana. Why? Because it looks like a penis. You get me? Eggplant, something like that. So when it comes to magic, you got to look at the plant, the herb, or the root, whatever it is that you're using, and say, how does this symbolize what it is that I'm trying to do in my ritual? If I'm trying to do a love ritual, let's say I'm trying to be more loving, I want to attract more love in my life, I'm going to look at roses. Why? A red rose. Oh, red is symbolized for passion, for love, right? The root chakra, foundations, and, roses are romantic. So you add some roses to it. Lavender, you want peaceful love. Maybe you and your spouse is fighting or whatever. Use some lavender. Lavender calms the situation. It's relaxing, right? So it's like, you just gotta, some things you can use intuition with, and that's the best thing to do when it comes to magic, is use your intuition, because your intuition never lies. It always guides you right. There's a lot of, most of my rituals, matter of fact, I will always tell people, don't do rituals that you find in books, because a lot of that stuff don't even work.
Facts.
People not, you feel me? Like it may work to a certain extent, but not like you want it to. It's just kind of like when you first learning how to cook, right? When you first learn how to, let's say you never baked a cake before. So you Google research, like, okay, how to bake a cake? What's the ingredients to make a cake? So you make the cake, you know, you get your eggs, you get your, well, if you're vegan, I don't know, like you use whatever you got, get the ingredients, mix it together, and you try it out, and you be like, this cake is all right, but it could use some extra butter next time, or maybe next time I could add a little bit of chocolate to it, or, you know, a little bit of this. So then it's like, now, you know, you start adding your own little elements, your own little flavor, you start getting the hang of it. So it's like, you might get the template, you know, how to do a spell, but the more you practice, the better you get, where you'll just kind of be like, oh, all right, I don't need this book anymore. Like, I don't need this cookbook anymore. I know how to make a goddamn cake, and I'm the best freaking baker out here. So it's all about practice and putting your own flavor and twist into it.
Oh yeah, that's important, family. You got to do your own shit. Get on your own swing of things. Like the rituals and stuff that we give out, it's good, but you also have to understand that your mind might be telling you something else to do or something else to steer towards. You know what I mean? So the family has to understand that, because everybody has their own journey. You know what I'm saying? I might be doing a ritual with dead rats, but but you know, on the other end, you might not like rats. You know what I'm saying? So that your subconscious mind is saying, oh, we about to have a bad experience or whatever with this. Real. A good book to use though, family, is that Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I remember when I first started on Me and the Queen first started, we was using this Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs book to do most of our rituals, because they tell you what the herbs mean and what do they do and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, you go to your local Botanica and just get that stuff and make it happen for real. For real, for real. Babe, what's up? You look like you...
I'm enjoying the conversation. I think just to sum up what both of y'all just said in a word would just be the law of correspondence. You know, finding the relativity in what we want to manifest and in the specific tools that we use, and just making them connect. And of course, follow your intuition. That's always what it is. For me, I want to talk about the underworld. That's what's been on my mind as I've been thinking about us doing this Sunday service with you, Conjure Queen. I want to talk about the underworld and this underworld initiation, because I'm having an experience myself to where I had a dream where I realized that that's somewhere I got to go to handle some business, right? We got to go to the underworld in order for us to come out on what we call enlightenment. What is your experience with the underworld? What is this underworld initiation? What does it actually mean? What are we actually doing? Is this shadow work, or is this, you know, dying to who you think you are to be created anew? What's your opinion on that?
Oh man, I love the underworld. I love talking about the dark side and the subconscious mind. Because not a lot of people talk about this. Excellent question. I honestly feel, hold on, what's going on? Why is it?
Y'all like and share the video, family. Like and share the video. Like Conjure Queen say, get them thumbs up, man. Y'all get them thumbs up. Y'all get them thumbs up.
Hold on, is the audio off? I saw her talking, but I didn't see anything. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. We ready. I'm just muting myself after I talk so y'all don't hear kids yelling.
Oh, okay. I thought I was bugging. Okay, cool.
No, you good.
Hold on. All right. So to answer your question, pretty much, what is the underworld? Oh, so basically, The underworld, when I think about it in simple terms, the underworld is your subconscious mind. The underworld is the place that's like the inverted world from what we see every day, right? Like we have the physical world where we see everything and, you know, everything seems normal, but then like the underworld is kind of like Alice in Wonderland. It's like everything is upside down, everything is inside out. And it's making us look at the aspects of ourselves that we don't like to see. It's making us look at our shadow self. Like I said, like there, if any of you checked out like my recent videos where I talk about like there's certain rituals that you guys can do to awaken your shadow self or awaken that sleeping giant within you, or to get to know that suppressed part of yourself, because everybody has a part that they don't show the world. You know, we have a mask that we wear when we out with our family, with our friends, with our lovers, with our coworkers, but then there's a part that nobody sees when we home by ourselves. And that's the part that you have to get to know, because that's really dealing with like your inner child, and a lot of trauma is there. So a lot of people get into the spiritual journey where they, you know, they jump into it because they're like, oh, love and light, you know, like this seems like a nice, fuzzy, pretty place where I can just like forget all my problems and meditate all my issues away. And then they're wondering why their life is not changing. They're wondering why they're still in the same situation. And all of this meditation and yoga and veganism is not working for them. It's because you haven't done the shadow work. You haven't gone through the ugly parts of yourself, cleanse that out, face your demons, okay? Make your demons your friends and evolve out of that. You cannot, before there's evolution, there has to be transformation. And transformation only happens through going through the underworld, right? And the story of Ra, he has to go through the underworld, fight demons, and then rise up again to be born anew. So that's the story that they're basically talking about us. We go through it every day, every 24 hours. When you go to sleep, you go into the underworld. You wake up, reborn again. So understand that it's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to do things differently. Every day you wake up, it's a new start, a fresh start to do something different. You always have a chance to change. So never feel like it's too late, guys. Facts.
Facts. Hold on. Let's keep going. Let's go deeper, because what I realized, because I'm, you know, we're always doing this work, not on here just talking. It's real life shit that's going on, right? And so what I realized just this week, and I love Sunday service, because Sunday service, the week before and the week after, whoever we have on, their message is, I don't know, it's just always synchronistic to life, right? And so I realized this past week that the underworld, or the aspects of myself that I have to shed more light on and get more comfortable with, don't even come from this specific lifetime. I got to go back lifetimes to deal with this. And something so beautiful that came to mind, I think that was 2 days ago, love, where I was like, I had an opportunity, a huge opportunity. And the emotion that I'm having to deal with is abandonment, right? And I had a great opportunity years ago in 2010 to deal with this abandonment. I was overseas playing volleyball, and I was just by myself. And so instead of finishing that season, I ended up leaving out of fear, right? And I just realized 10 years later that experience was the experience that was going to help me heal the feelings of being alone. Tell me and tell some of the people how our everyday experience not only reflect what may be going on, you know, in this lifetime, but possibly something in the past. And what are some ways that we can heal this? Is the black candle ritual something that will heal our past life? And all of that good stuff like that.
Okay, so yes. So basically, the black candle ritual is very powerful for healing, because before you can heal yourself, you got to understand what it is that needs to be healed. You got to face it. You got to look at it. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are afraid of the dark. Even since we were children, we were told that there's monsters in the dark, you know, don't sleep in the dark, or, you know, the monster's going to get you. But, you know, the monster is just an aspect of yourself. And you'll always be running from this monster until you finally stand up to it, just like bullies. You know, we was just talking about bullies the other day. We was talking about, you know, if you continue to run from your bullies, you're going to get bullied your whole life. It's only when you stand up to that bully and face it, you realize, like, this bully ain't so scary. You feel me? So it's like doing that black candle ritual is very healing. It's not pretty though. I'm going to tell everybody that. It's like you're going into the underworld, dealing with the left-hand path, dealing with the dark magic, dealing with chaos, dealing with all of that is not pretty. It's not meant to be. But life is not meant to be all nice and pretty. Even nature has its, you know, pretty and ugly parts of it. You feel me? Like, people may think that, oh, you know, a hurricane coming through and destroying a whole village is terrible. But you got to look at it from nature's point of view. Nature's just kind of like, well, you know what? It's time to rebuild a new village. It's time to clean things out. It's time to remove the old. And nature just has this attitude about itself. So we have to realign ourselves with nature and have this kind of like objective point of view on our life, where it's just kind of like, you know what? I want to grow. I want to be better. I'm tired of reliving generational curses. So how can I break this? A lot of you in this chat room, a lot of us, the millennials, a lot of us, this new generation, we come to break our old generational curses of our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. We are the seeds of our ancestors, and they are looking up to us, and we are their hope. We are their seed of hope to do better, because we have to shift the paradigm. And it all starts with shadow work. It all starts with you having to break issues your mama was going through, your grandmother was going through. And matter of fact, I just want to say this really quick while it's on my mind. There was this article that I read that said that your grandmother was actually carrying you in her belly, because a female embryo starts to have its eggs. Like when a female is born with a certain amount of eggs. Mm-hmm. And once you become an embryo, like when your mother was inside of her mother, which is your grandmother, your grandmother was actually carrying you, because you was one of the eggs inside of your mother when she was an embryo. So that means that whatever trauma that your grandmother was going through, you're dealing with that. Okay, those vibrational impulses that you felt while you was inside of your grandmother, while you was inside of your mother, even when you was a child, you got to deal with all of that mess. And I know it seems intense. I know it seems heavy, guys, but we got to do it, because who else going to do it? If you don't do it, you're going to pass that on to your kids. And I know that's not what you want to do.
Facts.
Yeah, and let me keep going, babe. I know you got something else, but this is a great build right here. It's so good, especially with that full moon in Cancer just passing. You made a video about the ancestors, and a couple of days before that, Dra and I did a Wise Wednesday talk, talking to people, and I was like, your female feminine ancestors are so coming through right now. They're really, and I feel like that's why I had the dream that I had that let me know, okay, there's something deeper, darker that I have to go into and experience. And it was supernatural how it came to me, because I just felt like I had to give ancestor money, right? And so I go into our magic room and I just started looking through my grandmother's obituary. Boom, her birthday is January 14th. We popped up on this the day before her birthday. So that's not coincidence. It was like her saying, let's do this work. And your ancestors are already supporting you. So people in the chat, if you know you have, some energy, some emotions that you have not addressed, your ancestors are there pushing and rooting for you to get the work done. And they're supporting you through it. And do it however you feel the need. Like Conjure Queen, I got the black candle ritual after you said it, but I didn't have no black candles. I had a green candle. So I lit that green candle up and was in the mirror, looking, and my face started morphing. I was like, oh shit. So it's amazing. And I'm just so grateful. Let's talk about real quickly how these ancestors help us through our healing process.
Yes, and Conjure Queen has an ancestor class coming up in a few hours, family.
Exactly.
I mean, Conjure Queen, do you got any more space in there?
Unfortunately not. I don't have any more space. I was gonna tell the family to join, but it filled up really fast, family. It's gonna be a really, really deep segment. So for the people that didn't get a chance to sign up, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna see if I could make it accessible for afterwards so people can watch the replay. To purchase the replay, but there's going to be more classes, more things coming up soon, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, Conjure Queen, if you do it on Zoom, just record, you know what I'm saying? There's a record thing where you can just record the video.
Okay.
Don't forget to do that, because if you don't record it, they ain't gonna save it.
Oh, okay. I have it set where it automatically saves to cloud, but I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure that I do save it though. Zoom is something new that I'm using. It's okay, it's cool, it's a little weird, but I'll figure it out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and before I forget too, like since we were talking about rituals, I actually do some rituals for my Divine Royal family. So it's like these private videos that we do. It's like exclusive live streams, private videos and posts, but only for like the Divine Royalty members. And I know that you're a member too, Dreamwise. So if you guys want to become a Divine Royalty member, just sign up to press the join button when you go to my channel, and you'll be able to tune into our rituals and things that we do. Ashe.
Yes, family. Make sure y'all do that, man, because Conjure Queen bringing some more information in the underground, world. Babe, ask your question again, because I forgot it. Shit, you know how I do.
Yeah, you know I didn't. So no, we're talking about these ancestors. We're talking about healing and doing this shadow work. Talk to us about how our ancestors can assist us through this, because our ancestors are like rooting for us to heal and to overcome and to rise up to our greatest greatness, help, because like you said, they passed down this greatness to us, and we are like the chosen ones. So our ancestors are like circling around us, they're rallying around us, and they're pushing us forward. You know, how can we recognize, and I don't want to get you to give too much of your class, but as much as you possibly can, how can we recognize when our ancestors are assisting us in this healing process?
Okay. Well, one thing that I would definitely say is that our ancestors are always with us because they're inside of our blood. However, we also have to realize that if there hasn't been anybody honoring them, feeding them, activating them for years, and then here you come into the spiritual journey trying to connect with them, they've been asleep for a long time. So it may take you some time to actually gain contact. You feel me? Now there's ways to help to establish that contact. Let's say like to make I wouldn't say faster, because sometimes some people are so impatient. We live in this like microwave society where people want to light a candle today and they want to get results like, you know, in 24 hours. Sometimes it could take you up to 6 months to get actual contact with your ancestors. And some people don't feel like waiting that long and they give up. They're like, oh, I'm not getting any contact. My ancestors not talking to me. No, you just have to be consistent. You have to be consistent, and you have to just stay on it and talk to them every day. Okay. Activating your ancestors, even burning ancestor money, you know, burning ancestor money helps. Now, I know to answer your question, you said like, how do you know that your ancestors are assisting you? Well, you know when they're assisting you, when things in your life just seems like it's just like magically coming together. Like there's something that changes. Like when I really started working with my ancestors, when I started working with my grandmother, like when she transitioned, I started noticing that a lot of the issues that I was having in my life were kind of like not as hard anymore, because I didn't feel like I was by myself. I felt like, you know, like Maya Angelou says, she's like, whenever she goes into like she has to go into a speech or this big conference, or she has to do anything big, she tells herself like, all right, come on, grandma, come on, auntie, come on, great uncle, come on, like, come on, all my ancestors, we going here today, and we're going to do an awesome job. And so like, wherever you go somewhere, you have to do an interview or whatever you have to do, call your ancestors, be like, look, come with me. So that way you have their strength. That way, you know you're not by yourself. You have their support. Life will just become way more easy when you welcome your ancestors into your life, but not all of them, because some ancestors are more troublesome than helpful. Like we got to realize, like some of us have some ancestors that were murderers, rapists, drug addicts. So just because you pass on don't mean that you just elevate spiritually. You can help them elevate if they want to grow. But not all spirits want to grow. Some of them are happy being ignorant and stuck. So, yeah. But they can block you. Your ancestors can block you, though. And that's how you know that you need to work with them. If everything in your life is not going right, it means that you need to work with your ancestors because they're your first spiritual line of defense. That's pretty much your gateway. Like, you got to get to know yourself first. Then once you know yourself, you start working with your ancestors. Then once you start working with your ancestors, they open up the way towards working with spirit guides and the elementals and stuff like that.
Facts on facts on facts. Yeah, and I know that class is gonna be powerful in a few hours with Conjure Queen. Y'all make sure.
Yeah. 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I say.
Facts. I wish we could have joined, but we're gonna be dealing with our fairy godmother, Khadija, in a minute. So we have to move on. We got to move on. But let me ask you this, Conjure Queen. This 2020 thing. Let's talk about this 2020.
Sure.
What about this? Let's talk about this new energy that's coming on. What do you think this 2020 energy actually represents? Or what does it represent to you?
Well, first of all, I'm excited to be in the year 2020. It's going to be very powerful. It's already powerful. People are feeling this energy. People are feeling the shift. This is a year where people like new inventions are going to be made, more innovators, more like a spiritual shift as well. I do feel as though that there are going to be some uprisings that's going to happen because, you know, the media is trying to get us all scared about war and all of this other stuff. But I really don't want us to focus on that. I want us to continue to develop ourselves, focus on self, focus on you, focus on family, focus on your community, focus on what's around you directly. Because if you focus, remember 2020 vision means like you have to make sure your vision is clear, and you also have to like put forth your intention. If you're focusing on, you know, the news and war and drama and celebrity, you know, gossip, and it's not necessarily elevating yourself, this is a really big opportunity that you don't want to miss out on. And those in power know that. So you're going to notice that the distractions are going to be very, very, very more frequent this year. Okay, a lot of drama, a lot of political crap. Okay, scandals, don't feed into it. It's just a hoax. Okay, it's a distraction. They've been doing this since ancient times, guys. Distractions and all of that. I think in Rome they used to have the games. What's the Colosseum? What's it? Like they would distract the people whenever there was some drama going on, like war and stuff. They would distract the people with like, you know, bullfights and lions and slaves fighting and all of that. I remember that movie Spartacus, or that show Spartacus, was all about that. But 2020, guys, listen, we still early in the game. Like I've been telling y'all, you know, to get your shit together and all of that for years now. We've been talking about this since 2015, since I started YouTube. But if you guys are new and you guys are like, you know what, I just got into this, how do I get started? You get started by just taking one step at a time, learning yourself. You feel me? If you're scared to jump into the dark side, then learn more about it. Read Uncle Seth Knox, what's it called? Uncle Seth Knox Essential Book to the Left-Hand Path, Essential Guide to the Left-Hand Path. I have put my link, I have a book link, like an Amazon link, where I have all my books that I read, because people are like, yo, we need a book list. What books do you read? And I read so many freaking books. So I'm like, you know what, let me make a list. I'll put it in the chat room. Let me make a list and give it to the family so you guys can know what to read, how to get started on your journey. That's the number one question. How do I get started? What books do I read? How do I, you know, so 2020 is about setting your intentions, create a vision board, figure out what you want for yourself, because you can't hit your destination if you don't even have like a goal. Like you people are so like, you gotta know where you aiming for. Right? Like, how are you reaching for something? You don't know what your final destination is. You gotta have something to aim at. So have some health goals. What are your health goals? What are your relationship goals? What are your career goals? What are your financial goals, right? What are your personal goals? Make some goals for yourself. No matter how big or how small, have something. Because if not, that means that you just living day in and day out. And you're going to find yourself, you're going to look around one day and 10, 20 years go by and you're in the same place you was. Nothing's changed. So don't do that to yourself. 2020 vision, 2020 is about setting your intentions and going for your dreams, because opportunities is here, baby. And if you don't jump on it now, you're going to be really mad missing this whole 10 years from 2020 to 2030. It's going to be really powerful. So set the stage now.
Walk through the doorway, 11:11. Yes, that's right, Mook. What's up, Masterly? What it is?
11:11.
Yes, we gotta go through that doorway. Yeah, that's what it is. It's 2020 is bringing this whole new energy of freedom, of chaos. You know what I'm saying? If you got that business you wanted to start, you need to be out here getting that.
Yes.
That shit need to be materialized in the now. Like it's coming through. For real, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Enough is enough. You see what I'm saying? This slave mindset, this slave mentality, there is no more fear. We run in the world. It's over with. We took over this thing. We've been took over this thing, but now we confirming it with the plethora of chaos family we got. Everybody's coming into this thing, whether they still dead or not. They know there's another energy that's happening. This energy is high. Yesterday, man, I'm telling you, I had to come down. I was so high up. I had to come back down to earth. I had to eat. I had to run, do some push-ups or something just to get down, just to bring myself down. For real. It's going down. Man, Conjure Queen, I know you time is limited. Our time is gone too. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Conjure Queen. Subscribe to Conjure Queen. Shit, subscribe to me since y'all, I forgot Conjure Queen got all the subscribers.
No.
So y'all subscribe to me, shit.
Subscribe to both of us, support both of the channels, and make sure you guys share and like this video. It helps with the algorithms, guys. Like, y'all already know that YouTube be trying to play with the spiritual channel, so we need you guys to help us, okay? So that we can continue to keep spreading this word and waking up our brothers and our sisters.
Facts, facts, facts. Subscribe to both of the channels. Like the videos. Conjure Queen, the beautiful Conjure Queen, man, on here giving up the information, giving up the light. Babe, you got any more questions?
I'm over here like, damn, I do not want you to go yet, Conjure Queen. We just getting started. It seemed like that hour, however, went by like this fast. It went by so fast. But I guess, man, I got some more deep stuff, but I guess to keep it simple, and I know it could be kind of quick. The tarot and the oracle cards, Conjure Queen, those are some of the first videos that I ever seen of yours when I first even got on YouTube, was the tarot, oracle cards, and all of that good stuff like that. Do you still do it? What has shifted spiritually to where that's not mostly, well, from what I see, that's not mostly the content that you're creating? What has shifted spiritually for you, and why is that? Is it because, you know, you got your own tarot oracle cards going in your head and you don't even need to pull them, you can just kind of see the energy? Or fill us in on that.
Okay, so you asked some both of you guys asked some really amazing questions, and I'm loving it right now. I will say that, and I'm going to be completely blunt here. The reason why I don't do the whole, you know, pick a card and oracle card readings and tarot readings is because it's become very like trendy. It's like everybody's doing that on YouTube. And my spirits actually told me, it's just kind of like, okay, we're not doing this for popularity, you know, like if people want to do tarot readings and stuff like that, then there's tons of other YouTubers that do that. Let them go there. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody who does do that. You feel me? Because everybody has a place, everybody has a calling. But I honestly, the way that I am, I'm like water. I'm a sun sign Cancer. Like, I'm very fluid. I don't like to just stay in one thing for too long. Like, I might do some tarot Tuesdays or whatever for some time, and then I'll be like, you know what? It's time to do something different. And to be honest, the tarot is not my favorite divination tool. It's not. I actually prefer scrying. I like looking through crystal ball. I like looking through water and doing divination. I actually am a natural channeler. So I don't necessarily need tarot. Tarot is just another form of divination that people use, but we got to think back, like tarot is one of the newer oracle or divination systems. It's not nothing that's ancient. The ancient readers, like my ancestors, Native Americans, they were using bones. They were using, tea leaves, or they were using this dreams or water, fire, air. Like, they were using the elements, rocks. So that's what I use. I use what my ancestors teach me. And they're like, you're a natural channeler. So sometimes, and to the people in the building, you might be a natural channeler. So if you're a natural channeler, sometimes tarot readings or runes and stuff like that can actually inhibit your message. It could block it. So use your intuition, ask your ancestors or your spirit guides to guide you and show you what your divination tool is. Everybody's power is different. Like I said, I like scrying. I like channeling. That's my favorite form of divination. But that's the reason why I don't do tarot Tuesdays like that anymore. Like, it was fun. It was cool. Like, will I do a tarot Tuesday?
Uh-oh. Hello. We on? Hey. Family, y'all can hear us?
I'm here. I don't know what happened to Conjure Queen and stuff while she was talking.
Another robot. Hey.
It says frozen.
Mommy, I can open another robot.
Family, we good or no?
Mommy, making a rather robot.
Oh, something happened to her video.
You want to make a robot.
I totally feel where she was coming from. I totally feel where she was coming from with that. Hopefully she can come back in.
Yeah.
After we see.
Family, we are doing Khadijah's class. Khadijah's class in a little bit. Who's all in Khadijah's class in this thing? It's going down, and I'm talking about my fairy godmother is off the chain, man. Y'all need a man. I'm telling you, wait. Y'all just wait. Y'all just wait and see for real. My man, I'm telling you, it's going down with Khadijah. Mook, come back in the room, man. Mook, come back in the room. I sent you the link. Come back in the room. But yeah, I feel what scrying is a tool I use. This thing is all about energy, family. You feeling your energy. So this energy, right? Hold on, let me text her back. This energy that we're trying to manipulate, right? Or that you're feeling is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Certain energies or certain vibes you feel, right? If you got to get more in tune with your vibes, I suggest everybody do a fast, because you can pick up on the energy of, when you're in different areas, or what's coming on today, or how the energy is feeling today, or in specific places and things and people, all of that stuff. So this thing is a mechanism inside of you. What's up, Mook? Say what's up to the family if you can.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
She says she's trying to reconnect right now. Go ahead, Mook. What's up, my
Hey, y'all, what's going on?
What's up, Mook? How you doing, sis?
Y'all make sure y'all follow Mook, man.
I was listening. It was a beautiful a beautiful build. And I was like listening to all the stuff that y'all were talking about with like inner work, deep healing, transformation, everything. And I was just like thinking about how Dra, we always talk about like we'll have, some amazing synchronicities. And so with the ancestor money, and shout out to y'all, because when we did our vision board party, y'all had gave me some ancestor money because I know y'all want me to thrive. So I love y'all for that. So when I went home, I hadn't used it, but the ancestors have been like on me about the ancestor money lately. Like they had really been like pushing me to burn some. And so I didn't want to just, I had a big pot I used to burn all the money in, and I didn't have it. And I was like, I don't want to just do it because I want it to be right. Like I like the energy to be built upon before I just burn the money. But I was like, you know what, whatever, let me do it. So I got me like this pan, and I just start burning all this, burn some money and stuff like that. And literally you just see the manifestations of it happen so quickly. And so I know that was the energy. And then I seen D-Ray do a video on it. And I was seeing other people talking about ancestors say, yeah, they're coming through really, really heavy. And it was really interesting because I was talking to Master Lee, and we were talking about ancestors. And I was talking about how I read some articles some time back about how poverty is literally passed down genetically, and how poverty is technically a trauma. Like if you grow up impoverished, that is a trauma. So trauma affects the DNA, and it literally changes the way that your DNA structures itself and how you genetically build yourself up as you grow. And so when you think about that and it being passed down, it was like, this is why we need to heal. You're healing them through your actual DNA. So we know thoughts become things. Those thoughts change us genetically. What we're doing is changing our perception. We're changing our reality. We're changing everything through our thoughts, through our perceptions. And that's changing us on a molecular level, like to a genetic level, saying the buck stops here. We're not going to continue that. And that's how you break that generational curse. I think people don't understand how deep it is, the healing that you do. You literally heal your ancestors by healing yourself because they are already within you. You have become them genetically. You are nothing but a structure of what they passed down to you. And when we shed, we become better versions where we're progressing, or we digress based on the work that we're doing. So I find it very interesting how, things can be passed down. So not only are, the articles were focused on poverty and trauma, being passed down that way, and how that changes our, DNA structure, but trauma in itself. So any trauma that your family endures literally is within your DNA in this very moment. So that's why doing the work ends up becoming that important, because it is you. It becomes you. You are everything that you're experiencing, and everything that they have experienced. And so we heal them through our DNA, and then we have our offspring. And when we have our offspring, they are born healed of that. You already did the work. So when you have your kids, they don't even take on that DNA because you already cleared it. No. So Romeo Alonzo, my child, he's not going to have that poverty mind state. And we've already cleared that. So we don't have to worry about that being passed on, because I've already cleared it within my own DNA to make sure that my child is not having to be passed down that same ancestral curse. So you've already healed it for your next generation, is what you're not really realizing. So you continue the work right now to, clear that throughout your own system. But even starting the work and being the person in your family who does it, you've cleared it for the next generation. So my son is not going to experience that. And we've already healed that curse and that ancestral pattern through myself. So the next generation, they come and they do more work. So it's behind you and in front of you and all around you at the same time. And I think it's just amazing, but it's something to note that it really happens physically as well as mentally through us, genetically, all of this that's taking place. And more than healing is a learning process. We say healing a lot, but it's more so learning. You just need to learn what the fuck not to do and what to do better. You know what I'm saying? So we're taking all of those experiences that they had, and we're like, okay, grandma did it this way, boom. let me put a little bit of sauce on it. I'm gonna do a little bit better. I'm gonna give that to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's like getting passed down recipes. You know, when we get passed down recipes, my mom gave me a recipe for macaroni and cheese. I'm like, I love the way my mom does it, but if I just add a little bit of this to it, it's going to be that much better. Cool. So now, you know what I'm saying? We're refining it. We're refining everything that we do through ourselves, through our children, through, you know, everything that we've been given. So I think take the pressure off yourself and don't be like, okay, I need to heal everything in this moment, like heal, body heal. You know what I'm saying? Like you learning is the healing process.
Facts.
Because they weren't learning. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our ancestors didn't have an opportunity to learn. They didn't know what to look into. They didn't know how to. A lot of them went simply based off of their own intuitions, and they did the best they could without the resources that we have now. So your responsibility is a lot larger than theirs because you have the unlimited resources.
Unlimited.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it becomes it feels heavy for a lot of us to be the ones to like carry the baton and have to pass it on. But it's like, you got way more resources and a lot more information at your fingertips than they ever did. So this should be nothing to say, okay, mind, body, and spirit, I'm gonna be the best that I've ever been, you know? So when you guys were talking about, even like Conjure Queen said about the constant rituals and doing things every day and practicing, imagine for 30 days if you refined everything that you watched, everything that you ate, everything that you did for 30 days, 7 days, 7 days. You know what I'm saying? No TV, no social media, only drink water, only read books, and see how much of a difference that makes. I mean, small changes, but it's telling yourself that we're going to do something different to get different results. If you can bring yourself to 100% capacity, I mean, you know, and 100% maximum potential, wouldn't you want to do that? And I feel like this is the year where I want to see where my maximum potential can get me by being disciplined. I feel like this is a big year for discipline.
Yes, facts. And that's what I mean. And Mook, you drop it, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow my sister. So it is written. So it is written. Look, Mook, this is what we're going to do. Conjure Queen should be coming back on soon. We're going to close her out. And then I just sent the link to Masterly. If he's up to it, we want to build with the family. So you know what it is. You know what it is. So we're going to close her out in there. But yeah, y'all hear Mook? This is what it is, your energy. Look, spirit, this is how you get up high, stay up high. You're moving these energies from inside of you. You know, all this energy, for the most part, the humans, the automatons, they're stuck in their lower nature, the root chakra and sacral chakra. Nothing wrong with them chakras, but you want to.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. There you go, Conjure.
Oh, the queen is back.
Oh my God, yo, YouTube is hating.
No, I'm telling you though. I'm telling you, Conjure Queen, that's how this thing happens. Because watch, this video we're gonna be done with this video, and then it's still gonna be going live. And I don't know why I said they might be, you know, listening to our thing.
You did say that because as soon as we started channeling, talking about divination and ancestry, it just jumped right off. It was not even letting me sign back on. Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know you was dropping. Does anybody remember what we was saying? Conjure Queen, do you remember?
You know I remember. Stop playing.
Okay. Well,
memory, I don't forget.
I know we remember, but I'm like,
I know exactly what we were talking about.
Because she was in a flow, she was channeling, and then it just went blank, and I was like, damn.
So let's jump right back on in, because what we was talking about was so important. Mook, you just came and dropped a whole nother shit. But what we was talking about, Conjure Queen, which was so freaking important, and we were talking about being able to channel these downloads, understand this energy through your own personal work, not really having to use tarot cards or oracle cards. Training your own mind to know what is happening energetically, not, not doing, the cards or whatever for a fad or whatever it may be, but being able to channel this information through yourself, through what is divinely for you. And you were telling us about how you scry and crystal balls, water, and how the ancestors used to use bones and all of these different things. So stepping away from doing what is common and channeling through what have been passed down to you.
Yes. So that's what we was basically talking about, tapping into your own inner power, like not feeling as though you need external tools to activate what's inside of you. Everything is inside of you. We got to realize that as within, so without. Everything starts within, and everything that's happening outside of you is only an effect. The law of cause and effect. You are the cause. The external world is the effect. So when you start looking towards your effect to change your cause, it's just kind of like, wait a minute, no, you're doing things backwards. And we got to start to, and that's what magic is about too. It's like, okay, we do these rituals and stuff like that to change our mindset, to change our subconscious mind. So where it comes to a point where it's like, we're living this now, where we don't have to always do these rituals. You get what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, it just comes from within and naturally flows without. Yeah. So the key is to not need candles. The key is to not need all of these, to need these things. It's like you'll use them to enhance what you already have, but you don't need it.
Facts. Yeah, everything is within. And that's what we was talking about, raising up this energy inside of you, because the automatons and the dead, they still live in this lower chakra, the root chakra. And the chakra. So once you're able to raise this energy up, you know what I'm saying, you start feeling and having these spiritual experiences. You'll start seeing your symbols all the time when you're walking around. You'll start getting these divine messages from your higher self. You'll start knowing. The reason I decode these movies is because I'm seeing past the human stuff, the mundane. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a level to where I can actually understand what they're trying to say or speak into our subconscious mind, which is, it's funny to me. I'm watching it like it's just a funny thing, but yeah, man, that's what it is, man. That's what it is, man. Yeah, the beautiful goddesses, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to the family. Y'all know what time it is. Conjure Queen, such a beautiful, beautiful energy she has.
Thank you.
Man, I can't even speak no higher of it. I can see, when somebody like you could just feel the magnetic pull, the vibration of when you speak, and people can just feel it, you know what I mean, and have that good sense of home. And, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Man, Conjure Queen, I know it's time to go. You know what it is.
Unfortunately. Yeah. I wish I could chat it up with you guys, but I gotta get ready for this ancestor veneration class in a few hours.
Yes. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe. Anything else you want to plug, Conjure Queen, before we get off here? Do you think
to connect, if you guys aren't, follow me. I'm also on Instagram. It's at I am Conjure Queen. And if you want to be exclusive Divine Royalty members, all you got to do is just press that join button and when you go to my channel. And I think that's pretty much it. And just make sure you tune in for the next upcoming classes. Sorry for those who couldn't make this one. It filled up pretty fast, but hopefully you'll make the next segment. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on this channel. Thank you for the build. I loved all of these very thought-provoking questions, and shout out to everybody in the chat room who interacted. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back up here again.
Yes, Conjure Queen, we gotta have you back. You know what it is. We got to have the queen back. The queen has to come back. And we love your videos, man. Every time we catch your videos random, we be like, dang, it's 3 a.m. What the?
Oh man.
Oh, wow. Okay. She's live now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're very impromptu videos. I kind of just am like that. I don't plan anything. I just jump into it. When spirit's in me, spirit's like, turn that freaking camera on. Let's go live. We got a message. I'm like, all right, let's do it then. And that's usually what happens. 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever time.
I love it.
And
I
that's
love it.
the beauty of it,
Man,
too.
y'all know what it is? Yes, that is. That's
the purity.
what Queen does. Exactly. Y'all know what it is. Subscribe to D-Ray. Subscribe to Mook. I put all of those in the thing. All of those will be in the description. All of those. And Stray, appreciate you, Stray, for all the putting all the links and everything. Y'all know what time it is. Next Sunday service, we are going in with my God, the bro with the chakra heads. Is going down. Y'all seen that? All my true pannyites, Jay Breeze is going down with the chakra heads, man. Anything else, babe? What you got?
No, I don't think I have anything. Y'all just, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Good to have you guys in the chat room. Thank you to the Divine Royalty family that came to kick it with the family. Love you guys. Appreciate you, Conjure Queen, for coming on. We gotta connect again.
All right, family. We're gonna see y'all next time. Peace out.